What does a tangible commitment to your calling or to your dreams look like, Gemini? This is what you're being asked to focus on and be aware of in the month of June, as Saturn has just entered your house of dreams, community, allies, goals, long-term dream and world building. Okay? Really big, important house. So, just kicking it off really light. Also, happy birthday, happy solar return to the June Geminis. I am excited to read y'all today. So, tangible steps to create your vision or to follow your calling. Not just imagining or thinking about or, hypothesizing, analyzing all the Gemini things, right? What can I do? Saturn is the prince of the material world, the prince of tangible action and therefore tangible results. So if you've been thinking about starting the channel, it's like, okay, what does it look like to actually sit down and outline a video? Because when we actually sit down and begin to do the thing, Saturn, we begin to realize like how hard it is or how many steps there are. And that's why it's harder than like thinking about it and imagining it and kind of like, Spirit's saying imagineering. It's like, okay, take your beautiful skill at imagineering and let's bring it into the engineering and the iterating. Like, okay, let me make a version of that. Let me make a version of that. Make a version of that. Yeah, you got to take the steps. That's what I'm hearing. Take the steps. And that's also very Saturn in Aries. Aries is the sign of pioneering, blazing a trail, doing something that maybe nobody's ever done it before or nobody's ever seen it done like this. And Spirit is relating that to your calling. Now, you may not be a Gemini rising, so perhaps Saturn has entered a different house for you than the house of dreams and organization and allies, right? What house does Gemini rule in your chart? If you feel like dropping it in a comment, I'll feel very happy to give you a reflection on that. Whatever house the Gemini rules in your chart, that is where you're being asked to take pioneering action, to act in a way that feels very like, this is just what I, Aries, this is just what I want when it comes to my family or my physical health or my creative expression, or again, whichever house it is. Again, let me know if you feel like it. Okay. With that big, broad astrological sky painted over your reading, let's drop down into the lay of the land, the landscape of the month of June. We'll pull a persona card to see how you are showing up, and then we will pull an array of cards to show us the trajectory from your recent past all the way to your unfolding future. So Spirit, let's start with the recent past. What do you want Gemini people to be aware of, to know about, to refer to? What has occurred in their recent past that pertains to the present and the unfolding future, Spirit, that helps us make clear for Gemini steps they can take toward their calling or building their vision, cultivating the community that they want to lead? This is something else that I'm hearing, okay? And Spirit, how is that past unfolding into the present? What does the present moment look like for Gemini? Spirit, we always ask for the truth, for the highest good of Gemini people, for their joy, ease, authenticity, abundance, fulfillment. And Spirit, that past and present, how are they currently unfolding into the future? What is the current trajectory looking like based on the past and present? Wow, okay. That's funny. I've been placing these face down so that I don't see them. I accidentally placed this one face up, and it's funny because it was almost like Spirit was like, you're going to want to clarify for this. So I'm going to place the clarifier face down just for the record. Okay. Clarify that for me a little bit, Spirit. I see what you're saying, but I would love to know a little bit more. That was easy. Okay, that one landed face up too, but that wasn't my fault. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit, we want to know the climate that Gemini is working with. What is showing up to meet Gemini this month? What are they dealing with? What's the energy around and available to them? Positive, negative, good, bad, ugly, fun. What is it? And Spirit, how can they best respond to it? What is your guidance for Gemini in the month of June? What would you advise them to do or consider or be aware of that will bring them closer to their highest good? Joy, ease, abundance, fulfillment, love. And Spirit, we want to know a potential outcome for the month of June. A way that things could go. So that Gemini knows, do I want to steer toward this good outcome, or do I want to steer away from this potentially negative outcome? What is a potential outcome for Gemini? And Spirit, finally, what is the key? When Gemini does this or is aware of this, it helps them unlock the best of the month of June for their highest good. Spirit, what is the key that Gemini can turn in the month of June? All right, let's see what we got here. Hey, love to see it, Gemini. You show up as the curious Page of Wands. Love. Wow, really beautiful reading, Gemini. Beautiful reading. Okay, I'm hearing a phrase which is strike while the iron is hot. This is a really good time to multiply your money. That's what I'm hearing straight up. Sitting in the past. 3 of Pentacles. Keep in mind, Gemini, I'll be posting this reading before we enter May. So consider yourself, if you've seen this early on in the month, or maybe even in May, before June, right? That you are still in the phase of the 3 of Pentacles, of putting your head together with other people, of building a vision, what Spirit is talking about. What are the concrete Pentacles? Love to see it. Saturn and Aries. What are the concrete steps that you can take to build the project, life, bank account, whatever skill set that you want to build? Podcast. That's, I'm hearing different things, right? This may be for some of you working with groups or in groups. You could be leading groups, or you could be part of like a collaborative group, okay? I see lots of potential. 3 of Pentacles is like a great milestone, a great early win that points to potentially really great long-term outcomes. And then that unfolds into the present, which is the 10 of Pentacles. No big deal. We just took a 3 and multiplied it by more than 3 times over a very short course of time, is what it feels like. I love to see the Page of Wands because, again, it's very Gemini in energy. The Pages of Wands are curious, they're adventurous, they're bold, they ask questions, they go places. And your Spirit is saying your excitement, your curiosity, your enjoyment is very contagious. Pages of Wands are very fun people. You know, you like to have a Page of Wands at the party. And it's very Aries, fire, wands, energy. What are the concrete steps that you can take to satisfy your curiosity, your adventurousness, your boldness, your joy, your big dreams that Spirit was talking about earlier? So Imagineering, like the Page of Wands would totally, when combined with Pentacles cards, that's Imagineering. Really, really love to see that. 10 of Pentacles, I also love to see this because Gemini, Saturn entering Aries, and again, potentially for you Gemini rising people, that house of long-term goals and dreams and community. 10 of Pentacles is literally like, I have so much that I can share with all of these different people. More than, you know, a 9 of Pentacles, which is like, ooh, I have more than enough for myself. 10 of Pentacles is like, wow, my whole family is taken care of. Biological family, chosen family, community as family. This is also about leaving a legacy. Some of y'all want to leave stuff for your children. Some of you want to leave stuff for the world's children, right? So something like, I want to be able to leave you an inheritance or a business or a skill set, or I want to be able to leave you in a better world. You know, there's different ways to leave a legacy. But consider the legacy that you want to live and the people that you want to benefit. That's what Spirit is saying. And I feel like this will help fuel you when you are really in touch with, like, this is the the community, the group of people, the allies that these are the causes that I want to be aligned with. These are all 11th house things, because it will fuel you when you are doing what feels personally very significant to you and building with the people that you want to build with and leave, again, a legacy for. Before we jump to the future, I want to jump to, oh gosh, there's so much good stuff to talk about here. I mean, let's go to the climate, the lovers, making a bold, really significant choice. Do any of you have Aries placements? Aries had the same card over in the lover's position, and Saturn entering Aries. You can imagine that Aries had a lot of information from Spirit about creating their life the way that they want to. So you might find some overlaps there if you want to check that out. Really exciting choice. You know, we could have something like a Two of Wands here, which would indicate like an exciting choice and like, ooh, which path do I want to take? The Lovers is the majorist version of that. Spirit is saying, if I take this step, if I make this choice, if I basically cross this threshold, my life will never be the same again. In a really exciting, passionate, bold sense. That's what they're saying. So do you know what you're trying to build or to grow? What Three Pentacles you're trying to grow into an orchard of gold coins or into a temple that will house the community that you care about or whatever? What are you building? What are you creating? If you step into it with true commitment, everything changes. Everything changes. Now, let's look at the future. Seven of Cups. Many dreams. Very Gemini and air sign kind of coded card, because it's like lots of imagination, able to conceive of many different things that would be cool or that I would like, right? But Seven of Cups is also the card of like, oh yeah, like I've got a get rich quick scheme, or yes, I'm going to start that big exercise routine starting tomorrow. It's always starting tomorrow or right after I do this other thing, you know, like it's intangible and it's dreamy. And so there is the potential, right, of some Gemini people not rooting down into boots on the ground, pen to the paper, butt to the meditation cushion, like this is what I need to do in order for my life to change or grow, like save money, whatever it is, like the concrete steps again, right? There's the chance that some of you could just stay in the dreaming and imagination phase. But if you can get really excited about what is out there for you and then begin to put one foot in front of the other to get to it, Three of Wands, you have the Three of Pentacles, you have the Page of Wands, and then you have the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is the card of reaching a new pinnacle. And that is the phrase that Spirit is using. Three of Pentacles, like I said, is a milestone, like a financial milestone or a growth and cultivation milestone. I'll give you another example. For some people, it could be like, oh, my business had a month like better than it's ever had before. For some people, it could be, I've been going to the gym for 3 weeks and I just lifted heavier than I've ever lifted before. Like personal, new personal best, right? These are versions of the Three of Pentacles because it's like, oh, and I've only just gotten started. I only just started going to the gym 3 weeks ago. So who knows what 10 of Pentacles looks like? You know, you running a fucking Ironman and loving it, right? That's a version. What is really at the center of all of this is you, the Hermit. What lights me up? What do I know to be true? How do I need to live my life? What is my inner voice telling me? We can get very caught up in what everybody else and everyone and everything else is doing. And this card is really encouraging you, and it's very Saturnian, that Hermit card. Like, get serious, right? Get serious about following your own internal guidance, your own internal inspiration. Once again, if you have Aries placements, I just really want to encourage you to check out that video because I'm again seeing some parallels here. It's really imperative that you only use your own yardstick to measure whether you're making progress, whether you are doing the right thing. It may not look like what anybody else is doing. And other people may even look at you like, what are you doing? The Hermit, don't care. The Page of Wands, don't care. If I put the Page of Wands and the Hermit next to each other in a Venn diagram, they don't have a whole lot in common, right? Youthful versus like aged wisdom and all of these things. But what they do have in common is they are finding their own way. They are using their own light to create and blaze a trail forward and not caring about the way that anybody else is doing it, because they are curious and they are going to find out. Okay? So let that be you this month. What do you dream of, and how can you take steps to make that possible? Yes, it's beautiful to dream, as long as then you are, again, engineering, imagineering, bringing it into, and how can I make that happen? And how can I make that happen now? Even if it means I can't begin, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro now, but that's my dream. Okay, well, I can buy a book on mountaineering or Mount Kilimanjaro or surviving in that kind of climate or whatever, and I can start the process. Because spirit is like, when you push the wheel, spirit pushes with you. Like when your car, and you need to push it on the road, and all the wonderful guardian angels jump out and start pushing with you. That's what spirit says they will do with you and your goals. Like if you start on this hermit journey, they're going to send you signs and gusts of wind and bends to the path that bring you to what you are seeking. Okay? As you seek, so shall you find. So seek bravely. Seek honestly. Seek seriously. Do you know what I'm saying? Seek authentically. A potential outcome that would be very disappointing, because you have all these good money and skills and growth cards. But a potential outcome is the Five of Pentacles. Going without is kind of the vibe of the Five of Pentacles. Now, for some of you, this can look like just taking an unconventional path. Like I'm walking, this is one thing that I'm hearing, okay, Gemini? I'm walking away from this job because I can't do the thing that I'm doing underneath the rules of this job. Like I have to do it my own way. I have to blaze my own trail. The person on the Five of Pentacles could turn out to be the person in the Hermit card, right? Now, another version of that, and because these are general readings, you want to pay attention to which one resonates with you. Another version of that can be feeling a sense of poverty, like there's not enough, like I'm working really hard and I'm not getting enough money, or there just isn't enough money. Maybe I don't even have work and there's not enough money and I'm concerned and I'm having to tromp through the snow trying to find a new way to get money. And with all of this abundance present, I really want to encourage you not to believe that that is all there is for you, or like that's just your lot. If you are in that position where there's not enough, there is more out here for you. Three of Pentacles, you might want to get together with a community, a group, a couple of friends, the creative writing group, whatever skill set or money or knowledge base that you're trying to grow. Get with like-minded people. That is going to serve you well, okay? You're doing it your own way, but then you want to find your community. And Spirit is saying, and as you do it your own way, you will find community, okay? So again, when you push the wheel, Spirit pushes with you. In the key position, speaking of, Two of Cups, one-on-one relationships. This can be romantic, this could be a creative partnership or a business partnership. It is like we have chemistry, right? Of whatever variety is, friendship, sexual, romantic, whatever. Two of Cups is when we put our cups together, we create beautiful new things and it feels really good. And that really resonates with the Three of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Three of Wands. Who are your people? Maybe Five of Pentacles, you've been trying to do it all by yourself, but if you brought in, even just as an advisor or like a sounding board, if you bring in somebody else and they have a different perspective, they have a different skill set, they might look at the problem or the question that you have and have like a really interesting, exciting, easy, fun solution that you're like, I never thought of that before. Thank God I asked you. Thank God I found you as I was here taking the steps to grow in the ways that I want to grow. Thank God I was bold. Thank God I asked, even though I was like, ooh, do I ask? Be bold. Ask. Page of Wands is also a messenger. So if you've been like, I want to talk to this person, collaborate with this person, do this thing, whatever. Send the email, make the cold call, like ask for the network like connection. Like, hey, could you ask your friend if they would talk to me about blah blah blah, whatever. Like, do the outreach. Be bold. Like, be bold, and I think that you might be surprised by like the avalanche of goodness that comes from being bold. Okay. How does that sound to you, Gemini? Is any of this making sense? Not making sense? Is it resonating? Are you already tasting or feeling any of this? Let me know if you feel like it. I always appreciate your comments, and it really helps my Widow Itty Bitty channel. Like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you vibe. And if I don't catch you at the Sunday live, then I hope I will catch you at your next reading. Till then, bye, Gemini.